Objective, secure the first date. Obstacle, how to ask her out. Fears, everything. But did you know the cards are actually stacked in your favor? In this episode, I'm going to cover some of the most surefire ways of how to ask for that first date and how to make sure that the odds are stacked in your favor. It's easy to believe that when it comes to asking a woman out, you have no advantages. However, it may shock you to know that even though she does hold the ultimate power to reject you, you do possess the power to decide whether she does so or not. To quote my original mentor, David D'Angelo, men court and women choose. So what does that mean anyway? Well, what that means is in all species, including the human, for the most part, men court the women, usually with some display, and the women decide whether they are impressed enough with that display to bond with that man. In the case of humans, men often think that flashing the cash or the fancy car or their high status at work is what drives women to their side. If you really boil it down though, you'll find that women are more interested in the underlying traits that can attain things like money, status, and fame, but are responsible for much more than just those things. And she feels a compelling drive towards men with those underlying traits. The traits that draw women are things like confidence and security, being sincerely interested in her interests, and being the fun guy that she can see herself having a good time with at the party. If you have even just one of these traits, you have an advantage over 90% of the men out there. If you have all of these traits, or at least some percentage of each trait, you'll be better than that. So what does this have to do with asking for the first date? Having confidence in yourself, being sincerely interested in what she has to say, and having fun are all winning cards when it comes to the first interaction. Me personally, I like to start up a conversation with the girl the first time I see her. Let's say that you're standing in line and you're standing next to a woman that you're attracted to. Start up a conversation. Maybe she's got an item in her hand that she's going to purchase. Ask her about that item. What does she like about how that product works for her? Let's say that this is a coffee shop and she doesn't have an item in her hand. Ask her if she's a regular at this coffee shop and what's good on the menu. Now, what I don't want you to do is ask some bland, go-nowhere question like, oh, where do you work? Oh, what do you do? Oh, that's a nice dress. The idea is to go in depth in the conversation. By the way, I do understand that this can be somewhat hard to do because it does require you to switch from your binary mind to your relational mind, which is hard for men to do. And that is something that I do coach in my one-on-one training. And you can find out how to apply for that in the link below. Once you get women talking about something they're interested in, and you show that you are interested in hearing them talk about what they are interested in, they will start to open up to you. Adding things like humor and fun to the conversation actually spikes their emotional sensors, creating further attraction to you. Now, that doesn't mean insert a knock-knock joke into the middle of the conversation, but look for things in the conversation that you can tease her a little over, or even relay a similar story to what she is talking about that pertains to you, but tell it in a slightly self-deprecating way that can make her laugh. You want to get her laughing. After you've been having a great conversation for about 10 to 15 minutes, or as long as the line allows, and hopefully you've been having an in-depth conversation up until this point, tell her, hey, it's been great talking to her, and you would like to continue the conversation. Can you have her number? Now, this is only if she has to leave right then and there. If she doesn't have to leave right then and there, then see if you continue the conversation as you go out into the parking lot, or maybe even sit down if you're in the coffee shop at one of the local cafe tables or whatever. But if she does have to leave then, you have to keep it sweet and simple. Hey, it's been great talking to you. Would love to continue the conversation. Can I have your number? I know that just asking for the number right then and there can be intimidating, but if you do this enough times, you will actually start to become better at it. You will also get better at starting conversations with women. Women look for traits in men such as confidence, security, and a fun guy to be around. She's also looking for you to be sincerely interested in her and what she has to say. Small conversations where you can demonstrate these traits have a massive impact on your ability to create attraction with women. These conversations can often lead you to a point where eventually you can ask for the number. By the way, if you are serious about taking your dating game to the next level and really getting a thorough understanding of how to harness these traits in yourself, I am currently taking applicants for my Dating Accelerator program, in which you will get to work one-on-one with me. You can find the link for the application in the show notes below. And by the way, I know a lot of you sitting there are thinking how horrible it is to ask for advice on this topic, and what I'm going to tell you is that nothing could be further from the truth. Did you know how to drive a car, or did somebody have to teach you? I'm guessing somebody had to probably teach you, and this is no different. And that's a tip for this week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, leave a comment, and as always, get out there and ace it.